Hey guys, it's your boy Jay, and this is Football Talk. And in this one, I will be reacting to College Football 25 gameplay, new insane presentation details. So, depending on how I will edit this will either be one long video or it will be two videos. This right here is by Good Game Bro. I reacted to one of his other videos on my channel, and I've watched him for quite some time on my own. So cannot wait to hop into this. Without further ado though, let's jump right into it.
When you play College Football 25, it just feels different. And to be honest, there's a lot of different reasons why I feel like that's the case, but I think a lot of the insane level of detail they put in the sights and sounds of the game it makes it that much
See,
better.
he already confirms it. It feels different.
It's the sights and sounds of the game. There's an insane level of detail on those, and it really amps up the experience.
And the trailer really showed it.
Things on the presentation side of College Football 25. And while we do that, I'm on my journey to 300,000 subscribers. If you're enjoying this College Football 25 content, leave a like and subscribe. The most important thing that the developers mentioned when I was down in Orlando checking out College Football 25 is that every team is somebody's favorite team. And so whether you're JMU or Alabama, there's kind of an insane level of detail across all 130.
It's schools I ain't even never heard of before in this.
Of the game. The most in-your-face element of College Football 25 is the picture-in-picture system. When they first described it, I couldn't just help but think I'm going to hate this. But honestly, once I saw it in action, I kind of loved it. How it kind of
Wait, what?
After a play happens, the gameplay goes to the top left part of your screen. And
nah, that's awesome.
Scenes, kind of the pageantry of college football, all showing right there. And then while this is happening in the top left, the bottom portion of your screen is going to be your play call area, which you're kind of used to in previous games.
Nah, I like that.
Right section, you're going to have an area that kind of focuses on like important updates that are going to be beneficial for you in a lot of different ways. So for an example, here's kind of things you can actually see in the top right portion of the screen. Stat overlays and stat comparisons that talk about today, the season, careers, versus a specific opponent last week, for example. Impact players are talking about
what? That level of detail is crazy. So it's gonna match up to where you are actually at. Tell you like your last game played, how you did, this and that. That is crazy.
Who they are, why they're an impact player, showing off their different abilities in the game. I think this one is specifically helpful when you're playing a new opponent or you're playing somebody. You're like, why is this dude killing me? You can kind of look at their abilities and see, okay, I understand why now. Individual player rankings for leaders and things like passing touchdowns, rushing yards, interceptions, and other stat categories. As your your conference, media, coaches, and potential playoff brackets, all those polls and different brackets are going to show up there too. The best thing in the game, in my opinion, wear and tear. There's kind of a way that you can look at wear and tear.
The wear and tear system sounds like a headache, and it sounds great at the same time.
Get to for my kicker to have this be a realistic possibility. Well, they're going to tell you.
Kickers.
Different panels in the game.
Nah, I got a great feeling it's going to, just like in real life, I got a great feeling it's going to come down to kicking. Especially like when you in like the playoffs, the college football playoffs. Ohio State fans know this. Unfortunately, kicking is what saved Georgia. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I know there are some Georgia fans that do watch my videos. That kicker saved y'all. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. But I can already see it right now. It's gonna be a lot of broken controllers from the kickers. I can already see it right now.
Kind of keep it fresh and give you information. And in my opinion, it's cool. It sounds like a lot, but they do a really good way of surfacing that information up to you so that it's kind of there when you need it, but not when you don't. I never personally played actual college football, and I don't really know what it's like to run out of a tunnel in front of like 100,000.
Yeah, me either. Most people.
But in my opinion, the way that College Football 25 captures the runouts with keeping the camera,
especially ones that's complaining,
showcase that action as your team kind of emerges out of the tunnel. I feel like I'm playing college.
Oh, that's
football.
Baylor.
A team like Penn State, for example, comes out with Zombie Nation blasting. You're kind of hearing the chants in the entire stadium.
Penn State level crowd is just crazy. The whiteout is.
And you're like, this is Saturday. There's a lot of attention and detail that the team put really on capturing traditions as well. You're going to see a lot of different things in the games. Just know that they
Bulldog
props that were both accurate in like weight and size to really bring traditions to life. Rivalry trophies, they built those.
I even noticed that.
Clemson's run out. They literally built a 2-story ramp to replicate players running.
Yeah, and the people that behind the scenes was crazy.
So I mean, you know they're official now. Purdue, they have their rotating bass drum for the pregame show. Oregon, yeah.
I didn't even know Purdue had that. I didn't even know Purdue had that rotating bass drum. But that is so cool that they put that in there, man. Like, just the level of detail adds so much, especially with college football, because it's all about the level of detail. It's all about the presentation, gameplay. If those two are on the mark, you got
around. They literally built a fake mascot motorcycle out of wood. How? I could not do that. Now we're
Yeah,
talking about a lot of great
that's
college football
pretty
25 news,
crazy.
but I did want to remind you guys that I'm sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. If you love sports like me, their pick'em game is going to be your favorite. It's as simple as picking hot
Shout out to Underdog.
rebuild. Something to note though is the devs did state there's something for fans of every team, and in my opinion, I feel like they meant it. While there's no mascot,
LSU.
crying right now in the comments, but the attention to detail in the mascots is very good too.
I only did a mascot game
Cool
just
thing
for
that they showed in the game is that
just for,
animal mascots in the game, like Rocky
giggles.
from Colorado, are going to have slight adjustments as they age, and kind of other mascots that are animals will age slightly over time.
Oh, they were wait, what?
I didn't know that Boomer and Sooner have the OU logo painted on their hooves, but
Hold on. Wait a minute. Did he just say so the mascots and everybody's gonna age as well as long as like the longer you play? What? Nah, that is OD. Look at this right here. Look at this, the mocap right here. Oh my wow. Like I said in my last video, I'm a really big fan of like the behind the scenes type of things. Like I watch documentaries about behind the scenes of games and things like that. So this right here is just like wow.
that's in the game. One of my favorite additions coming to the game this year too is turnover chains and different traditions.
Turtle? Who's the turtle?
Every single Saturday you watch college football, you're seeing somebody get a pick or a defensive touchdown or do something crazy, and they go over to the sideline and there's something that you've never seen before, and you're like, I had no idea that was even a thing. In my time with the game, I saw championship belts, mini basketball hoops.
The championship.
You know,
Yeah.
they had that.
What? Wait, what?
Drone? There's a lot of cool stuff.
Who the hell got the chainsaw?
Stadium, but the actual stadiums themselves, there are over 150 of them in the game. And if I'm correct, I think that's the most we've ever seen in a football game before. So
Oof.
the dev team spent a lot of time visiting
150.
locations, but there's obviously a lot that they couldn't visit. So for the schools that they couldn't visit, they reached out and had over 80 schools respond with over 80,000 photos in total for reference. So you can imagine these stadiums are
But
pretty
damn.
Something I love hearing as well is that the development team plans to update stadiums post-launch as sort of they get new architecture or maybe new
I
design.
like that. I like that right there.
Same
That's what I'm
stadium.
talking about.
If you see it on Saturday, you're going to see it in college football 25. The
Okay.
uniforms in the game are pretty nuts too. There's different details and like the cloth and the sort of materials they're using. I'm not really anybody into fashion, but like you can see different materials actually within the uniforms. I felt
Yeah,
like
the
teams
Georgia
brought out
black
a
and
lot of
red
different
thing.
swatches for
Yeah, that was
uniforms, but
fire.
Some of them have like almost 20 different combinations, which what? There's fan favorites in there like UCF.
Yeah, with
uniform,
one thing, cause I watched the LSU like facility like little vlog, something like that. Can't remember the exact name of it. But amount of color combinations and uniforms, it's not even right. Like what? Over 20? And they all look good. Like none of them are like it's like maybe you could have dealt away with that one. They all look fire. It's like my goodness. Color in college sports period is
gonna be some uniforms
insane.
favorites that are not in the game. I'm just gonna cross my fingers that they add them in post-launch. Something to note as well, the dev team did tease to us that there are a lot of uniform combinations that they have seen that people have never seen worn in an actual game before, and they're going to be debuting for the first time this season.
Wait, what?
So you're going to have some teams that maybe haven't had a whiteout before or have like an all-black uniform before, and you're going to see that for the first time.
Nah, the whiteout with LSU,
development team is
that is one of the most underrated things in college football.
They have upcoming uniforms that have not even been announced yet. I've had so many questions about dynamic attendance in college football 25, and I'm so happy to finally be able to talk about this. Yes, it is in the game, and they actually gave us a really cool example featuring FIU in dynasty mode and kind of having a pretty empty stadium to start, but then it changed a little.
Who is
After one
FIU?
of the devs won a couple of games. They got their team to be, pretty solid, but they ended up getting a big road win against Indiana, and they ended up being 7-0 pretty much around that point. The stands started to fill up a whole lot more for them. They weren't ranked at that point, which is cool to know, but by the time they were
Wow.
ranked, they were
So
like,
they bringing it. They
and
bringing the
you
dynamic
had
crowd. I
solid
like that.
crowds.
I wonder they're gonna do that in Madden.
Pulse meter went from being
Eh,
weak and not doing much in the
maybe
first
not
part of
with the
season
NFL.
to absolutely booming at the end of the year and giving them a real home field advantage. And speaking of the crowds and home field advantage, College Football 25 has specific crowd section layouts for each stadium. So each stadium is going to have its own band section, away visitor section, and a student section. If you're at a school like Michigan or Tennessee, you're going to see the pom-poms in the crowd. Schools like South Carolina and Pitt, you're going to see the towels in the crowd. If you're in Missouri, the Tiger Tails will absolutely be there. One of my favorite things in the game was seeing the whiteouts and the different checkerboard sections and all these different patterns that teams have that are very unique to them or unique to specific schools, and just seeing them when you show up to play the stadium, it's so cool. I talked about it in a previous video, but one of my favorite moments was giving up a touchdown early.
Want to upgrade but still paying off your locked phone? Break free from 3-year device contracts.
And then watching my fans do the surrender cobra just out of disbelief. Your student sections are going to react to things.
Oh my goodness. I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna make you feel so bad. Like, you know how college football crowds are. Like, you'll see a female like this, you'll see a female like, or you'll see somebody like this, guys like this, or just like
In a big way in big moments of the game, both positive and negative. The dev team actually went and face captured both male and female actors screaming at the top of their lungs for major moments like third downs or big stops.
Wow, I like
on
that.
Huge touchdown plays. There's also really cool attention to detail for like hand signals in the game that'll happen per school.
Bro, this right here. Hold on.
Touchdown plays. There's also really cool attention to detail for like hand signals.
This right here is so fire. It's so fire. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how people can do this. Cause I be seeing people like Cole doing this. Hell to the no. I might do it for like a good couple of seconds. And next thing you know, I gotta put my shirt on. I'm sorry. One of these letters gonna have to be canceled out. You're gonna have to find somebody else in my place. I ain't gonna lie, and it's in Georgia too, so you know it's hot as hell. My goodness. But look at the level of detail right here. Look at this right here, the facial animation. He ain't gonna have no voice tomorrow.
In the game that'll happen per school during things like pregame runouts or major positive plays are going to happen.
That right there was one of the best things I've seen.
The biggest examples, but just know that there are way more than just what you see here right now in the game. If you're wondering about chants, there are tons of stadium-wide chants as well. What's really funny to me is that while they obviously could capture a lot of them in person, going to different games, there were so many they couldn't obviously capture, so they had to get, a little creative. The dev team actually went on top of their studio in Orlando, and they told us about screaming some of the chants. They're trying to get the cadence right, all the timing right, everything that they're trying to work on and make sure it's really accurate to what the schools do. And so with that combination of IRL and on top of a parking garage in Orlando, Florida,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I wonder if they got that Tiger, the LSU Tiger chant.
That are tied to,
if you know, you know.
I can specifically recall "Let's Go Blue" being chanted in Michigan with 3 arm pumps, or at Florida State seeing the tomahawk chop along with the war chant going on. It's just cool to see the crowd actually doing an animation while they're doing the war chant. I've got some additional war chants on the screen right now, but just know there are way more than just this in the game. 99% of you are already aware, but you'll have 2 commentary teams in College Football 25. You're going to have Chris Fowler as your Dynasty and Road to Glory team when you're
and it sounds amazing.
If you're in a conference championship game, if you're in a college football playoff game, including the national championship game as well. Outside of those games, you're going to have Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollack kind of as your main commentary team. To be noted, if you're playing in Play Now, you can swap between the commentary teams as you choose.
Oh, you can switch. Okay, I did not know about that.
Is going to be your guy, kind of taking you around with the latest news from the country. He's going to give you info on national upsets, various scores on games that are happening inside of your own conference, or even how rival teams are doing when you're in Dynasty mode. Equally as interesting, if you're in an online Dynasty, you're going to hear about the scores happening from other members in your Dynasty as long as they finished their game in that week before you've played yours. There's over 60.
That ain't gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Even though I'm not really an online type of player,
all of that,
I think that's really cool.
In a football game in a long while. The team also talked about celebrations in the game and how they built real-life trophies from scratch to kind of match the hardware you're going to have in college football. All of the trophies they kind of made were then brought into their motion capture studio, and then they really took those and their motion capture artists to have them hold the trophies and celebrate like they would just win the actual game in real life. And to me, that goes a long way. You don't want a player just holding it like they're wielding a katana or something crazy. Like you want to hold it like they would in real life.
I ain't gonna lie, them trophies got to be heavy as hell. Imagine dropping that
for in-game celebration. So when you want to do a celebration, you can actually look at the menu, kind of like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter move list menu. And
you can choose.
So if you're playing somebody online and you really want to tell them that they're too small, you want to rock them like a baby.
Nah, what? It's going to be a lot of friendships ruined over these celebrations.
It goes a long way. I've covered a lot for the presentation today, but as you can tell, the dev team, in my opinion, is doing a lot to make sure that College Football 25 is a game that, honestly, we've been all waiting 11 years for. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody.
Damn, it has been 11 years.
On the next one.
This is a lot, man. A lot of things he went over that was in the trailer. But so like the Play Now thing, I did not know that you can customize which announced team you want. I really like that. Man, oh man, I'm even more excited after watching these two about college football. The presentation looks epic. I feel like I'm watching a college football game in real life. Man, I miss football, man. Can't wait for football to come back. I need it. I need to react to it. Ooh, man. But I'm not gonna get emotional on this camera right now. Like I said, I'm super excited for college football 25. I will be reacting to some of the play now games. I will be also streaming some of the play now games and you know, doing all that. So yeah, that's coming up pretty soon. And I'm hoping to start streaming every single day. Every single day I'm hoping to start streaming. Either this week, well, probably next week I will try to do that. I will keep you guys updated on YouTube and my Instagram as well. So follow me there. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this reaction. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys